What time is it? Yeah, you know what time it is.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We put together a Corvette video for y'all. There's a lot in this video. We repaired the EBCM, we repaired the HVAC, both common problems with these. All it took was a couple hours of work and a little bit of solder, free repairs. We also installed a new double DIN head unit. We have everything wired in except the amp, and we are going to be changing door speakers here soon. What else did we do? We put jack pucks, permanent jack pucks underneath it.
Skid things on the
front thing. Aftermarket skid things that go in the front there, just for another layer of protection. That's pretty much about it. We did some interior upgrades and stuff. There's a lot going on. Certain things that we do as far as like the HVAC and the EBCM and stuff, there are thousands of videos out there if you want a detailed description of exactly how to do it. I kind of briefly ripped through it whenever I was doing it just to show you that we were doing it. So without further ado, it's showtime.
This is LED lighting kit off of Amazon. It's iFunny LED. I have no idea.
Oh, it's funny because it's true.
It's Amazon. What do you expect? And I guess it's item number X003WZJY09 maybe? I have no idea. But pretty simple on this thing to change the lights. So let's get to it. Alrighty, so one purple LED has been eliminated, and I don't know what it is if that's buying cars with purple LED interior lights, but the new one's been put in. It's simple as pop that plastic clear cover out and boom, you're in. So just go to the other side and repeat the same process. Just to show you what this looks like, get the thing out. It's just up in that little cavity, and the wires go up in there, and then this pops in. But just stick your bulb in there and then done. Boom! So just like that, the end of the dash lights are done. So now let's move to the trunk and do those two. And so just like that, the end of the dashes are done on both sides, and the ones in the trunk are done now. So, pretty cake.
Wow, that is really hard.
Ethan, what you got in your hand there?
It looks like a snowmobile ski. You're gonna have to explain this one. You're an expert.
Yeah, that's so it handles better in the snow. No, actually, what those are for under the front balance. Dog, you're totally killing the shot. Anyway, there's two pieces of the frame down there that are designed to kind of rub if you get in a situation where you're gonna rub the front end. So the skis bolt on there. There's one bolt in each one of them, and it just adds another layer of protection. They were $20 on eBay, so I thought, what the hell? So send it.
Okay.
All right. Next up is
pucks. Not the kind that you go to play hockey at your hockey rink, eh?
Really? Because you just put skis on the front. So.
Oh. Okay. We're winterizing.
I see a winter theme here.
Cool.
Anyway.
So in all seriousness, these go in your, I guess, quote unquote frame rail. I guess you'd call it.
That is correct.
There's like a slotted hole. This little block thing goes up in there, and then you push your bolts up, and then you twist it, and then you use your blue Loctite that I just set down there, and then you take your wrench and you tighten these down to secure it in place. Jarrett just did one, and it fits just fine. So
and yeah, okay, so these are permanent install ones. They do make ones that you can pop in and out as you need them or do not need them or whatever, but literally these are like $22 on Amazon, and I'd rather not have to carry around a set of pucks. I'd rather just bolt them to the car.
They feel like good quality.
Yeah, they're pretty decent for $20. So
actually,
but anyway, but yeah. So as you were.
Okay, so right here is our little slot in your frame rail that we're talking about, and here's your puck thing, and you just do a thing. You go, and then you spin it. And it sits in there, and then you tighten your bolts down. Gotta put Loctite on them first, but you get the picture, I would hope. Okay, this is very far in the future me. one thing I neglected to point out whenever I put these things on here is to show you what they look like on the little frame rail thing. So that's what they look like. They just slip over the thing, you use your bolt to lock them in, and they're on there. Same thing on the other side. Pucks just look like that, as I showed previously, but that's what they look like locked in there. So, good to go.
Alrighty, boys and girls, today is Arts and Crafts Day. It's pretty nice here in PA today, so I'm going to take advantage of the nice weather because I'm going to make some pretty interior changes. One being sticker for the horn, and I also got lettering for the passenger side airbag. It's like a big sea of ebony in here, and it needs something to break it up. So I got these from southerncarparts.com. I think it was like 60 bucks for both of them. Comes with instructions, comes with the activator stuff. I'm not going to be able to hold the camera while I do this, but check back here shortly.
A few moments later.
Alright, so this part is done. It's kind of time consuming because you have to put the activator on there, let it sit for like a half hour, and then put it on here. It is stuck on there, but I gotta be honest, I'm not 100% satisfied with how it's on there. Hoping it lasts, but I don't know. And for some reason, this part up here, every time you push down on it, another bubble appears. I don't know, you're supposed to let it cure for 24 hours. I guess we'll have to see what happens. But for now, I've done all I can, so it's time to move to the passenger side.
Many unbearable hours later.
Alright, kids, ta-da! That is done. That's like 2 hours of my life I'll never get back. If anybody's put these on there, I'm sure you'll understand. If you're gonna put these on your Corvette, pencil in some time, because you gotta be pretty dead on to get them down in the grooves. And I had to clean whatever was on this dash 3 times with rubbing alcohol and a Q-tip before these things would even stick. So make sure your surface is super clean. Anything to add?
No.
Got nothing? All right then.
I'm fancy. I'm in the driver's seat, so I'm fancy.
No, but the call is fancy now.
Fancy.
All right. Later.
The next day.
All right. Today's arts and crafts project is involving the new stereo that's going in the car. So I'm sure a lot of you out there already know that if you do a double din, you need to get one of these replacement console pieces because of the bigger opening. I got this one off Amazon. It was like 50 bucks. And then I got color bond paint, adhesion promoter, and this pre-cleaner. And this is the GM ebony color. I actually went on to Colorbond's website, and they said it was out of stock, but fortunately Eastwood had it in this whole kit, so I ordered it from there. It was shipping and tax and everything. It was 90 bucks, but I figured, hey, it's a Corvette, I better do it correctly. But back to this console thing. It comes with the template so you can relocate your HVAC stuff. It comes with the side brackets for your head unit. Honestly, for $50 Chinesium, I've seen a lot of people put these in. They fit pretty good, so we're gonna scuff it up, clean it up, and put some color on it today. Little sidebar, there's the part number, but I had to show you all this. Fragile, handle with care, do not press or throw. This is how it arrived to me. FedEx delivered this with the biggest hole I've ever seen in anything, but fortunately it never touched this at all. So I guess it was a strategically placed kick. I don't know, but kind of makes you giggle a little bit.
Okay, so to put in this new double din radio, we got to take all this center console bull crap thing apart. Not super hard. I've started. I took out that active handling with Flecky that's here, and it has your airbag off, light for your passenger side. And there's 2 nuts under there that support this down here. There's a screw here, there's a screw behind that black cover thing. And beyond that, I think it mostly just pops in here. Okay, so we got a dog, and then we got these 2 pieces here. This is the one that came out of the car. This is the one that's going to go back in the car. And they're pretty similar, except for this one has more of a vinyl coating looking thing, and that one's smooth.
Yeah, and the color looks pretty...
It's pretty close. It's closer than I thought it was. Okay, now you may notice it's more shiny, but that is not paint. That is adhesion promoter, which is shiny and promotes adhesion. It's right in the name.
Sure.
So then
before I did that, I used a red Scotch Brite, went over everything real good, blew it off with the air gun, and then used just some nice propyl alcohol, wiped everything down. And this proves right there, you think it's clean, it's not clean. So as everybody says, painting is 90% prep, 10% spray. So always clean your shit.
What do you think, dog?
He doesn't give a shit.
He doesn't. Okay, so the layer of black paint has been blown on here, and it actually does kind of give it the vinyl.
It's ebony.
Okay, old Corvette guy. The ebony paint for your Corvette.
Hey.
Your GM ebony Corvette has like paint on the thing now, so it'll kind of match the rest of the car, and it'll give it a vinyl texture of ebony.
Alright, real quick, there's a million videos on YouTube about the HVAC systems in these vets and the fact that you need to resolder these chips. I'm not going to go into detail about it, but this was one of the problems with this car, that the readout wasn't working. So I am not a solderer, so do not judge, but I did get solder on all the joints, and it looks like shit, but if it works, I really don't care, because you're never going to see it. But it's super simple. You take 4 screws out of that, and there's 4 screws holding it into the thing pops out. You put your solder there and put it back together and hope for the best. And I guess if it don't work, then I'll just have to find another one. So, moving on.
So the soldering action has been performed to the HVAC thing, and now the screen works and does what it's supposed to do. So, fix something. Super.
Okay, next step in this stereo thing is actually wiring up the wires in there to this interface for the 9704 Vets, and get everything ready to rock and roll to just plug and play. Also, this is a Boss Elite PE7 ACP-C, has Android Auto, also has a backup camera, and I got this lead to plug my phone directly into the USB that's in the wiring for this thing, and I'm going to put it in the auxiliary hole that's in the center console, so I can stuff it away or hide it or whatever. I got that off of Amazon. I think it was like $10, and I got this stuff from Crutchfield, and it was, I don't know, around $400 for everything. So let's get to crimping. Alright, so last couple hours I've spent making all these connections from the Boss head unit to this interface. The interface came with all these wires and the different plugs in these boxes to tap into the factory amp for the Bose speakers or whatnot. But right now, these two will go to the factory harness. There are gain inputs on this thing here for the 4 channels. This plugs into the Boss head unit. This goes to the mic to talk if you're in the car. This powers the rear camera. This is going to be the amp turn on. And this goes to reverse lights. So that part of the spaghetti nightmare is put together. So there'll be more to come. Alright, so just a quick little update. It's been frigid as hell here in Pennsylvania the past couple of days. So in order to keep this project moving forward, I Took a couple wiring assemblies into the house where it was nice and warm and got crazy with some electrical tape. But what I've done is I'm going to add a 10-inch sub in the back of this thing. So the RCA cables, these ones did not have the remote wire in them. Some of them do, but you know, I'm a fan of use what you got. So I took a remote wire and just taped it all to that. So whenever I run the wires from the front to the back of the car, everything will be at point A and point B. This is the wiring for the backup camera. I did the same thing to it. You know, there's connections that need to be made at the head unit, and you need to hook into a wire, so a reverse wire, so whenever you're in reverse, it activates the camera. So I figured since I'm running this wire from the license plate area to the head unit, I might as well just tap into a reverse light in the back and run it all the way to the front. Super easy. Now for the amp I'm going to use for the sub, I'm using 4-gauge wire, and yes, they are jumper cables, but the beauty about these, they're 4-gauge. The positive and negative is already adhered together. They have heavy coating on them, which is awesome for any spots where it may rub or whatever. And got this whole thing at Harbor Freight for $30. 4 gauges are more than enough that I need to run my amp. And since grounds on these cars are not like a traditional vehicle or whatever, I figured the best place to ground this is going to be at the battery. So I can just run both of these wires up to the battery and both of them back to the amp under the hatch where it's going to live. So that's just a quick little update for what's going on thus far. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah?
What is that fancy microphone you have?
That's a microphone. You just said it yourself.
You're so fancy.
It is fancy.
So now that we have a fancy car, we have to have fancy video equipment for our fancy channel.
There's a fancy tripod in the house.
It's so fancy.
It is very fancy.
Should we get it?
No, I don't think we need it yet.
Okay. So, what are you working on today?
The EBCM, or EBCM for short.
The dreaded Achilles heel.
Electronic brake control module, is that correct?
That's the correct terminology.
Okay.
Anyway, but yeah, when I bought this car, I knew this thing was having the issues that all these things have at some point. So Ethan's about ready to rip it off, so then we can tear it apart and do the little solder thing and see if that works. Because if it does, then it's another free repair.
Fun thing.
So what are you doing now?
Well, I got all 6 of these bolts out, so now we try to break the seal.
Don't break it.
I'm trying not to.
It's already broken. Do you need a very large hammer?
No, but this thing's definitely caked on here. Whew.
Are you making out there, Slick?
Yeah, just got this thing popped off.
Mazel tov! It's a boy!
It's genderless, but yeah, so you can believe what you want to believe.
Well, hey, it's out. Oh, it's teared apart.
No. So, what do you got going on there?
I am tapping this hole so we can put a 1/4-20 bolt in there and separate the 2 pieces.
I call this professional.
I was thinking, well, I guess it will work.
It's 1/4-20 stud.
Yeah.
As long as this wing nut has enough force to
Yeah,
that use it
might
enough
not
to
work.
separate.
You know what? If you could find 2 nuts to put on there, we could double nut it.
Right. That's what I was thinking. So I will go look.
Okay, so air cleaner bolt for the win. It totally worked.
You're welcome.
There's like 18 gallons of silicone in here, so it takes a little bit of work to get it off of there, but once you get it all broke free, it comes right apart.
And it's not just this silicone. I have some kind of adhesion thing.
Yeah, the silicone.
Oh. My bad.
So, yeah. So let's get this cleaned up and move on to the next step.
Sounds like
Which
you're
will probably be tomorrow thing, because it's dinner time now. It's getting dark and stuff. So we'll revisit this later. Well, soldered the 5 spots here. As you can see, not my best work, but hey, as long as it works, whatever. So I'm going to find some RTV and slap this thing back together and put it on the car and see how we did.
Okay, so this is future me. It turns out the mic was dead. So essentially what he was trying to say here is he put blue tape around the outside of that thing so that way it didn't squish out our TV, I think, and went around with the razor blade, I assume, and scratched off all the extra. Yeah, you can see it. Be very careful with the RTV whenever you're putting it in here, that you don't get some in the little things where the pistons sit into on the other side of that thing. Yeah, them things. So put a little silicone in the hole that we made too. So essentially all we were trying to tell you. And here, all we're trying to tell you is that we put it on the car, and then we're going to test it out and see if it actually worked. And here you can see we're testing it out, and moment of truth, it worked, because as you can see, our traction control ABS lights went off, so good to go. So, another free fix, done.
So Ethan, explain to the viewers real quick what you're doing.
Well, we're back to today's episode of Let's Draw Holes in the Vet to make improvements.
That's just bad.
I know. Well, it's better than the Sawzall.
But hey, lighter's faster, right?
Correct.
Okay, so what are you doing?
So if you can see in here, there's a bracket here and here, where your radio and your heater control things go, which we got the radio out earlier. There's 4 rivets on each one, and we're choosing to go the clean way about this and just drill them out. And I hope they'll be fine.
And why are we doing this?
To eliminate them for the double din thing, because you got to move everything.
Yes, so if anybody has not ever done this, if you do a double din thing, these brackets have to get removed because you have to move the HVAC down a little bit to make room for the stereo up top. So, real quick, he's just going to drill these rivets out, pop the damn thing out, and clean up the mess, and keep on rolling.
Nope. Hey, it's me again. Mics were dead again. So what is going on here is you can see the template is in the center console area, and you can kind of see the small holes that you got to drill through. We just ended up poking 2 holes for the dowel pin things on the back of the HVAC unit to get them centered into the structure of the dash, and then we just shot self-tappers into the dash. So we went the easy and most efficient way about that. And here we put everything together again loosely to make sure that the alignment on the radio was correct, or depth, I guess, because the way it works is the thing kind of goes around the radio, and you need it to be kind of the perfect depth. Luckily, we got it on the first try, so we only had to do this once, and then you rip everything apart and put it back together permanently, and it's just that easy. Okay, apologize for the no audio in those last couple clips.
Then that's mine still working.
Yours is not, because there's no audio whatsoever.
Oh, you're using your phone. I don't know. Did you work?
So, right now we're shoving the wires for the backup camera. I guess just the trigger wire for that. That's it, right?
Yeah, and then we can put this shit back together.
Yeah. So that's where we stand at this current time.
Alrighty, so we're going to end the evening on, we just finished wiring up the backup camera. Got the wires coming through the back. These are the connections that need to be made at the head unit. If anybody's curious, just came through the back right there. All these trim panels will cover everything up. You'll never even see it. It's going to rot it around there and up to the front. Everything will be wonderful.
The next day.
Okay, so if you take notice, we have the targa off, and we have stripped interior pieces out because it's our race car. So now you're experimenting with wires?
Yeah.
So in this spaghetti mess of stuff is the wires that we ran to the back of this thing, and there is the jumper cables that are going to serve as the power and ground for the amp. They're coming up through a hole in the firewall that I custom made with precision because I used a file. So, and if you come in here, you'll see, well, I don't think I ever addressed this, but pretty much this whole area was torn apart and it's back together now. I just finished snapping the kick panel thing in, and you follow it back to here, it runs through this hole, all of it runs through these holes, and then you come to here.
They're not jumper cables anymore, they're amplifier cables.
Okay, everything on the head unit has been connected, and the interior has been reassembled completely now. So now we see, mostly completely, everything that it took apart today. So, without further ado, I guess I just needed accessories, but I don't know, but this thing just turned on, and caution, watching video against so it's on. So yeah. So after last night's ventures, we got the radio thing to work, so I have it secured in there so it won't come out unless you're, well, in a blaze of fire. The HVAC thing is back in, or it needs to be, so we're on the tail end of putting things back together. I'm going to zip tie this cable with the rest of these wires to go to the center console and little stuff. So after experimenting with this head unit, what is your overall rating, sir?
Well, it seems pretty good, except I have a Samsung Galaxy 9, and for some reason it won't interface correctly with it. I can make calls, I can listen to music, like Pandora, iHeart, or music I have on my phone, but the maps will not come up on the screen. But if Ethan uses his phone, which is a Galaxy S23, the map comes up on the screen just fine. So I'm guessing my phone is outdated. It does have a cracked screen, so one of these days I'll get around to updating it. But right now, I don't really give a shit. I just want music. So far it seems like a good head unit, but I can tell you that the Corvette door speakers, when you put an aftermarket head unit in here, sound like shit. So be prepared to change them, because we changed these to some kickers back here, and they sound epic. Those door speakers sound like shit. And I'm in the process of putting a 10-inch sub back here, so that'll help. But anyway, this has been a lot of work, a lot of ripping and tearing, a lot of wiring, a lot of screwing around. But we're finally near the end, so pretty happy about that. So we'll get back to you after it's all put together. Alrighty, so what's going on?
Well, everything's back together here. This is your Android Auto cable. Works for some doesn't. Head unit.
Well,
Your controls.
it'll work whenever I get a fancy new phone.
Yeah. Reader controls were fixed. This went in okay.
Hey, for $48, if it's alright.
There's a gap here a little bit.
There's a gap in your ass crack too, but so.
This all works again. Obviously, this is all back in place. Emergency brakes.
Emergency. And I am still working on that mess, but at least all the trim is back in. It's gonna do a little bit more wiring for the subwoofer. But cigarette lighter works.
Cigarette lighter sucks, but it does work.
You have to wait for it to pop out by itself. Weird.
Oh, it's not that, it gets stuck in.
Anyway, so the last thing to do
is that. Yep. Shall we?
Well, I can't reach it, so it's all you this time. I mean, it would be nice if, if we could Raj and Howard it.
Drum roll, please.
Ooh, fancy. So fancy. So just a real quick shot of what my plan here is. Now, I'm not going to use this subwoofer box. This is actually a subwoofer I had in my Silverado I sold a few years ago. But it is a Rockford Fosgate Punch Stage 2. And I have an old school Orion HCCA 225. I guess these were all the shit back in the day, back in the early 90s. Anyway, but all the wires are coming out over here. So the amp is going to live here permanently. And in this center compartment that comes out, they make subwoofer, what I call them, boxes that fit in that same location. which I am on the search for one of those right now at an affordable price, because for some reason some people think they're made out of gold. But anyway, I just have a couple more connections I need to make, and then I'm waiting on some stuff from Amazon to connect it to the battery, the power and the ground. So we're getting close, but not quite there yet. One of the features of this head unit, this Boss Elite, was it has provisions for a micro SD card. So I got one because I have a lot of music on my laptop, so I figured it'd be easy to put it all on here. That way I wouldn't have to hook it up to my phone or whatever, because I have one of these on my phone as well. However, I got this, put all my music on there, which is literally like over 13,000 songs. Popped it in, it wouldn't work. So did a lot of research and had to read the fine print of the fine print, because they don't make it very crystal clear until you dig for it. But you can only put up to a 64 gigabyte card in. I bought a 128, so I'd have, you know, expandability, but apparently whatever software runs this thing can't handle anything more than 64 gigs. So just FYI out there, if anybody's planning on doing the same thing I did. So with all of that, we're going to end this video here because it's literally 40 degrees and we need more firewood in the garage. But as soon as the kid gets out of school, we have plans this evening. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Hope you enjoyed the content. Like I said in the beginning, if you have any questions about anything or any comments, please share them. There'll be more vet videos to come. I know Ethan's going to have a driveway rescue coming up here. He's working on one of his friend's vehicles. So that'll be coming to the channel soon too. So winter's coming, so we'll do what we can in the cold and hopefully get some more content out there for you soon. So take care, like, subscribe, share, and thank you all for watching.